Hi, my name is Dorothy Hernandez. I am 56 years old and I'm currently at the Weingart in the B7 program. So I found myself being released from jail and I really had nowhere to go. And it's not the first time I've had nowhere to go either. You know, the homelessness for me has been a pattern, and it's really been a pattern of loneliness. Loneliness, the struggles were just carrying a lot of grief and nowhere to process it. The homelessness, it just became easy. It became easier because now it was okay to stay with somebody, but I would work my rent into me working around the house, doing repairs. I have many multiple skills. Or taking care of them and their appointments and necessities for the house or their animals, you know, or all of it altogether. So as I was saying, the 15-year warrant, 15-year-old warrant, which I thought was just going to be a hassle, turned out to be a blessing. It really did. It brought me here to the B7 program. I know I did not want to return to San Bernardino County because I felt like I was going nowhere. There was no hope for me there. I was wasting away. And everybody around me seemed to be okay with that. And I had my eyes wide open while I was incarcerated. Grateful that the B7 program even existed here at the Weingart. I'm familiar with Skid Row, just for prior years endeavors, some 35 years ago. And I didn't realize the Weingart had so many programs to offer. As I was saying, referring to the homelessness, I guess there were other things for me that entailed my homelessness. Along with the loneliness and the grief, and you know, I lost hope. I lost hope, and with that came a lot of drinking. I was an alcoholic. I entered the LA County Jail, and I had to sit in their detox a week longer than most people usually have to. And when I came here to Weingart 2 months later, I was still not feeling well. And I was told that there are programs here. There's through Wesley as well. Wesley was a huge help to me as well. I joined IOP there, and I still attend the group there in the morning. It's a huge help. I have a support group there, and the doctor was great. You know, I just can't really complain about anything.
My name is Amy Krause. I'm a case manager at the Weingart Center for the B7 program. The B7 program is a reentry program for individuals from the last 60 days, whether they came from jail, prison, or even Homeland Security. We offer them a variety of services. We help them get their documents, ID, social, a variety of documents. We connect them to their primary care providers, mental health. We get them counseling through SUD and Matrix. And we get them all of these services so that we can then refer them to housing navigation and to get them housed. Dorothy, I've been your case manager since like August of 2024.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. During that time, we've gotten all your documents together, we've connected you to all the services that you need, and you have excelled in this program. We've gotten her ready. She's housing navigation ready. She's connected to housing navigation. She's ready, and she's been an incredible client.
Oh,
she's gone through her own struggles just as everybody does, but I mean, she has worked through it, and she has been very diligent, and she was determined to succeed, and we're all just really proud of her.
Okay, so in thinking about things that like stand in my way, obstacles, you know, there was a time in my life where I was homeless and ashamed to admit that I had a mental illness, and there's no shame there, you know, and I've found the right medication finally. I found the right therapist. I ended therapy, and you know, I go to meetings. I also go to my group, and I found that there is just a common release in that, and you know, that's really in a nutshell for me, because I have this mind that it talks to me and it tells me I'm not good enough and I can never make it. You know, you're better off here. But I know the other side of me is like, no, I'm not going to settle. And if I get knocked down, I'll get back up. I will always get back up. So, you know, there was an afternoon where I was sitting in my room and I was kind of disappointed about getting housed, because it was presented to me where it was a place where I had SRO. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I've had some experience. I'm a greedy person with my bathroom. So I'm looking forward to having my own bathroom. I really am. My own shower. And, well, what do you know? God answered my prayers. And Mark and my case manager, and Mark is the program manager. I think his name is Boss. But they came to my door about 4:30 in the afternoon. I didn't even expect them to still be here, and they had a colored picture of the place. And, you know, it felt good. When they left, I got sad. I'm really choked up, because it looks brand new. There's only 50 people, 50 apartments in that place, and It's right next door, close enough to West Hollywood. So I was like, perfect. Demographics do make a difference. And I'm just grateful. I'm really grateful. It's a nice place. The people seem warm and welcoming. The area's not bad at all. So I see myself kind of walking over to the bookstore in West Hollywood already. I really do. You know, and in thinking about my upcoming residence, you know, my new home, you know, it feels good to say home, first of all. And, you know, I look forward to having my place to cook. I haven't cooked in quite some time, and believe me, I don't forget though. And I also want to get a service dog. I need a little companion, you know, and I had one before and I had to let go of him, so. And I'm just so happy and grateful, you know. But again, my own bathroom, I'm really grateful for that. And not that I'm only grateful for sharing a bathroom, at least there's facilities here at the Weingart, but it just feels surreal at times. It's happened rather rapidly, I believe. And again, I'm grateful, but it does matter, like, to be proactive in your program is what I see as well. You know, the struggles out there, they're real, and I know they are. And as I've gotten older, and if you're out there and you're older, you know what, don't give up. So how many times you fall down, just please never surrender. Get up, live on your feet, don't give in to the knees. You can do this, I know you can. I do want to say that since I've gotten my home, the one thing I really like about this is that I feel safe. I feel a sense of normalcy coming back because I am a lady that has worked my entire life before becoming homeless. But here I have a sense of I can be myself more. I'm not so guarded. I am more comfortable with my grandkids, and my daughter came to see me last week, and I'm just very grateful for that. I want to let you know that when I got here, before I even got to know anybody, you know, I had my neighbors help me bring my stuff up, and they weren't invasive. You know, they helped me to the door, and I brought my stuff in, and they gave me their names, introduced themselves, and let me know if I needed anything. They're here. This place is very quiet. There's a property manager. She's on site. I have laundry amenities downstairs. You know, washer, dryer. The community room. There's a community room downstairs. If I don't have my television yet, you can go downstairs, you can watch a movie, your news. There's a microwave in there until you get your own. I have a fridge. I'm no longer living in a bag. That's one thing I really am grateful for. I'm no longer living in a bag. I have my things out, my things are enfolded in my dresser, hanging in my closet. It's been above and beyond what I expected to be here, honestly. I think it's great, I really do. Besides that, you know what, Melrose is right there. I have Hollywood Boulevard's up the street. You know, if I wanted to take a walk, I've taken the bus down there just to walk down Old Hollywood. You know, and brings back memories, good memories, nothing but good memories. Chinese theater, then I got the museum down there, the Ripley's, everything. You know, it's within walking distance. You know, when I first got here, there was a couple nights where I was, in all honesty, you know, from being homeless to getting somewhere to live in my housing, I'm grateful for. It was a little bit challenging. I had to get reacclimated with, you know, a routine of, I have nobody to check in with. There's nobody watching me. I have nothing to wake up for, you know, and listen for. I was very I had to get comfortable. It was uncomfortable becoming comfortable again with being in my own environment. And but I'm very grateful because I have found that I volunteer at a food bank, and it's kind of self-serving, but then it's not, because even if I do have food here, I've gone twice already. And I'm welcome to go back, and it's just a great little environment. I've got to meet people there, so I'm networking, you know what I mean? And it's a sense of normalcy one more time, you know, and I feel like I'm giving back, because I like to give back as well. I like helping people. This is the first time I'm learning to help myself. But what Weingart really gave me was a place where I could settle my feelings. I was able to go to my counseling. I was able to deal with some traumas that I really didn't think I could. You know, they allowed me the time and weren't invasive, and it was that made it very comfortable for me. You know, and I learned how to be comfortable within myself again. That's the best thing Weingart gave to me, is that right there. And I allowed myself to grieve the losses I've had in my life. You know, my mother, my older sister. That's allowed me to pursue other things for my heritage as well.